Top stories on Sky News. The Prime Minister is today expected to formally apologise to the families of 96 victims of the Hillsborough disaster. An independent report is expected to be critical of the way those in authority handled the incident in April 1989. Police in Surrey are trying to establish what caused a coach returning from a music festival to leave the road and plough into a tree, killing 3 people late on Monday night. And Andy Murray has been celebrating his victory in the US Open, winning his first Grand Slam title. He beat Novak Djokovic in a 5-set match. Good morning. The Prime Minister is today expected to formally apologise to the families of the 96 victims of the Hillsborough disaster in the Commons for the way they've been treated in their 23-year search for justice. The findings of an exhaustive investigation are being published. It reviewed thousands of documents held by South Yorkshire Police, as well as key local and national government departments. It's expected to be critical of the way that those in authority handled the incident in April 1989 and the subsequent investigation into what caused it. Good morning, you're with Sky News. Let's take you across to Cairo and the latest live pictures coming out of the Egyptian capital. This is outside the American embassy. Last few minutes, you can see some kind of smoke coming out of that area. Earlier today, roughly about 2,000 people protesting against this film, which has come out of America, which is said to be offensive to the Prophet Muhammad. We've seen widespread reaction to this across North Africa. Let's get some analysis for you. Nick Peaser's in the studio and has been watching this story for us here at Sky News this evening. What are the wider implications for North Africa and for the region because of what we're seeing in Cairo tonight?
Well, we know from past events that whole of that...
These 2 shafts of light are thrown up into the New York night sky between 7:11 p.m. and between 6:34 a.m. to remember all those who very sadly passed on. They're made up of 88 searchlights installed just west of the Trade Center site. Now, that site is being redeveloped at the moment, and there's going to be a brand new building that's put on the site where the Twin Towers once stood. But yesterday, that was the focal point for the remembrance service for those who lost their lives at the Twin Towers. President Obama paid his respects, as did the Vice President as well, Joe Biden, at other locations across the United States of America. And of course, we'll watch that story for you throughout the night as there is reaction to 11 years since those terrorism attacks in America. Thanks a million. That's how many line the streets of London to honour Britain's greatest team. 800 Olympic and Paralympic athletes who made the country proud take a final bow, and what a way to do it. In office windows, on rooftops, and 10 deep on the street, those lucky enough to make it to London show their support. No one was immune to the effects of London 2012, even policemen getting into the party spirit. And a special tribute to the games makers, the volunteers who played such a vital role in bringing the games to life. In other news, the 7-year-old survivor of the family killings in France speaks to police. And Andy Murray battles for his first Grand Slam at the US Open. We'll be keeping up with the latest from Flushing Meadows.
This is Sky News.
Good morning. Up to 1 million people packed the streets of London to honour Britain's greatest team. 800 competitors on 21 open-top floats passed through the centre of the city, ending with a concert at Buckingham Palace. It was a spectacular end to an extraordinary summer of sport, one the Prime Minister said had brought the country together and whose effects will be felt for generations. Sky's senior news correspondent David Bowden reports. OK, let's have a look at some of the papers then. Tomorrow in some of the front pages, the Daily Telegraph are leading on Clegg in gay marriage, bigots row. This is the Deputy Prime Minister, Nick Clegg, who has apparently said that those who are against gay marriage are bigots. It was a speech that was drafted and released to the media, but a revised version very quickly came through with that controversial part omitted. When it comes to the Independent, they're talking about Hillsborough. Police did doctor evidence in bid to avoid blame. It's our lead story here tonight on Sky News. When it comes to The Sun, this is a story that is going to make many potential Andy Murrays wring their hands with glee. If you can win the US Open, you could be worth a cool £100 million. The headline, 1p to 100 million. They reckon that's what he's going to get in terms of sponsorship from on that victory yesterday. And when it comes to Daily Mail, fury over bigot slur on gay marriage opponents. That's leading on that story about Nick Clegg again. OK, let's bring you the latest from Flushing Meadows, where Andy Murray is hoping to win his first Grand Slam title, taking on Novak Djokovic in the US Open final. The match is currently in its fourth set, with Murray leading 2-1. Let's speak to our correspondent, Hannah Thomas-Peters. Right, what is the latest? It looks like Djokovic is going to take the fourth set. Look at him hugging that trophy. It's worth £1.9 million. On Sky News for iPad, you'll find the match stats of Andy Murray's historic win and the full story of the night. Sky customers can access the app for free with their Sky ID. The Deputy Prime Minister, Nick Clegg, has reignited the bitter row over gay marriage within the coalition by appearing to describe opponents of the policy as bigots. Sky's political correspondent, Glenn O'Glaser, has more from Westminster.
Well, this was a very